evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm Vaishali Zaipai, HR Business Partner at Cloudstand Consulting. We are a Pune-based Oracle partner founded in 2022 with delivery footprints across the US, UK, and UAE. Our core strength lies in Oracle Fusion, HCM, and ERP implementations, with a special focus on Redwood AI Studio and post-go live support. So far, our team has worked on 11 plus Oracle projects, including Redwood transformations involving over 250 plus flows and pages for clients in the US region. I feel lucky to be a part of a young and driven team, always striving to simplify Oracle for clients and deliver real outcomes faster. Today's session is a part of our knowledge sharing series where we bring real implementation experiences, practical advices, and some lessons from the field. And to walk us through today's topic, I'm happy to hand over to someone who's played a key role in several of our Oracle talent rollouts, Megha Singh. Now it's my pleasure to introduce one of our speakers for today, Ms. Megha Singh, Senior Oracle HCM Consultant at Cloudstand. Megha brings with her over 10 years of industry experience and has successfully led 4 plus end-to-end Oracle Fusion implementations. She is an Oracle certified consultant and has worked across USA and GCC regions both on-site and remotely. Her exposure includes everything from pre-sales to delivery, and she has been instrumental in guiding both offshore and on-site teams as well. Whether it's talent management, core HR, or aligning Oracle solutions with real-world business goals, Megha has been at the heart of many successful projects here at Cloudstand. We are glad to have her leading today's session. Over to you, Megha.
Thank you so much, Vaishali, for this brief introduction. Hello, everyone. I am Megha, Senior Cloudstand Consultant, Senior Oracle Consultant at Cloudstand Consulting Private Limited. I am really very delighted to lead today's session on talent management, specifically with the goals and performance management. I have had the opportunity to lead and roll out several talent management projects. And you know what? It helped me to grow and learn so many things in the space of Oracle management. I have worked with global clients across US, UK, UAE, and I also help them to structure their talent management processes with the help of Oracle Cloud. In this space, I have learned, and what I enjoyed the most is how Oracle Fusion is helping to get the performance review more meaningful, goal settings more aligned, and career conversations more strategic. In today's session, I will take you through some of the key features, will walk you through to the configurations, and finally to some of the use cases. Here's the roadmap for today's session. We'll begin with the introduction, followed up by the goals and performance overview. We'll show some of the configuration in the system, followed by the key takeaway recommendation, and finally Q&A session. So before we dive in, I would like to tell you what exactly goal and performance management is and how does it fits in the talent management. So when we are talking about the talent management, it is not a module, but it's a suite that includes several other modules in it, such as succession planning, talent review, talent pool, LMS. But what we will be focusing on today is about the goals and performances. So what exactly is the goal? We all have some sort of goal, maybe some long-term, short-term. Many times we are able to achieve it, but sometimes we don't. Why does that happen? That is because there is a gap between what we plan and how we execute it. That gap have very intelligently filled up with the help of Oracle Fusion by introducing a framework called as SMART framework or SMART goal that ensures that the goal should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So if any of the goal is having this specification, then definitely it is going to have a success. Talking about the goal management, there are broadly 3 types of goals type. First is the performance goal, development goal, and personal goal. So the worker and the manager in an organization have the ability to set the performance or development goal. When we are talking about performance goal, it is more result oriented and it is measured, like it is always used in the performance document for the evaluation purposes. So when do we need to create the performance goal? Performance goals can be created when the goal has to be aligned with the organization goal. When talking about the development goal, manager and workers have the flexibility to create maybe long-term goal or short-term goal, and these goals can be created when there is some skills or competencies related goal. Personal goals are the goals that are generally created by the workers only. So let's say for an example, there is a work-life balance that a worker wants. So those kinds of goal will come under the personal goal. In a nutshell, I would say that the performance goals are majorly focused on the business outcomes and are measured in the KPIs. Performance goal, apart from this, development goal focuses on skills and competencies and measured in the learning or feedback, whereas goals are more towards the personal growth and trackings. Here is the navigation. So let me take you through the system that will help you understand more clearly how exactly the goal plans look like, what is goals, and the terminologies, those are related to the goals. The navigation is from the My Client rule group. We have to go to the goals, but if it is the redwood, we have to go through the talent. Just a minute. So here is the instance available. From My Client group, we have to go to the goals tile. You can see there is a tile available with the name of goals. When we'll be clicking on it, these are the terminologies that are being used in the goals. First is the review period. So when we are talking about the review period, it's a time frame that in which we define the start and end time. Library goals are the goals in which we can have, it's kind of repository in which we can have the goals that has to be reused. So if there are a number of goals that are predefined and have to be reused again and again, then definitely we'll be creating a library for that. Eligibility profile is the profile that we not only use in the talent management, but also in the different modules, such as in the absence, benefit, compensation. So what is exactly the eligibility profile is? It gives us the criteria for which the employee are going to have. Just a minute. I think like there is some issue with the screen. Just give me a moment. Sorry. Okay. So the screen was not visible. I hope it is visible now. So we were talking about the eligibility profile. It sets the criteria like for who all employ the eligibility, the profile goals or the goal plans is going to be visible. Now going to the goal plans, in goal plan, it actually, we create a plan in which we will be encapsulating the rest of the things like the review period, eligibility profiles. We can also import goals from the goal library. This is the Redwood UI. It is easy to use. It is more clear. So we have filter here. As compared to responsive UI, I feel like I'm more connected with the responsive UI. It has also given us so many features, like it has introduced AI that is also helping us in creating the goals. It suggests us, it gives us a recommendation as well. So here we will be selecting the review period, and on the basis of the review period, we can see what all goal plans have been configured in the system. You can see this is the goal plan which is created and how many assignees are there who are associated with this goal plan. You can see the review period. Status should be active because if the status is inactive, it won't appear here in the goal plans. Then we have start date, end date. So let me quickly take you to the page of goal plan. We have to give all the information like the name of the goal, whether it is active or not, start and end date. We also have the enable weights. So what does that mean? Weight means we have to give some percentage of the weights based on the different goals that we are creating. Again, that will be provided by the client to us. There are more settings like what all features we want the worker or manager to have, whether they can cancel or delete the goal plan. They can only cancel or delete. Likewise, we can create different options. The evaluation type plays an important role because I remember in one of my project, there was a mismatch in the evaluation type here in the goals and the performance document. And so was the reason we were unable to see the goals in the performance. So the data were not flowing there. So it is very crucial to have the same evaluation type in both the places. We can also have the limitation like what will be the maximum goal or minimum goal we can create in this goal plan. So we can restrict the user, or as an HR administrator, we can restrict anyone to create the goals. While creating a goal, we can import the goal from the goal library, or we can directly create the goals by clicking on this plus icon. So when clicking the goals or when creating the goals, it gives us the feasibility to have whether the goals are measurable or not and what will be the outcome for those goals. So many times it happens that goals are associated with the outcomes such as for the competencies, languages, license or certificate that helps and gets integrated with the different modules. I think this is a demo instance and we are facing some of the issue with this. Let me cancel it. Yeah. So here in the goal plan, we can add the eligibility profile for which particular workforce this is going to be eligible. Apart from this, whom all we want to include in the goal plan, apart from the eligibility profile, and whom do we want to exclude. So generally, we can include the people for the testing purpose also. We can log in as that employee from ESS side and check whether the goal plans are active or not, it is reflecting or not. We can make the progresses and things of such kind. So once the goal plan is there, we need to schedule a process. So scheduling a process helps everyone in the organization, every employee who are eligible for this goal plan to see the goals that are attached to their plans. From the ESS side, employee can log in and see and make the progresses respectively. Why do we use the setup of performance goals mass assignment? This is the question that hit many of us. So basically, when a goal have been published, a goal plan has been published, and if the client want us to add some more goal on that particular goal plan, then we'll be using the setup of performance goal mass assignment. So here we'll be adding more goals, and after that we have to again schedule the process in order to get or reflect the updated goals in the ESS side. Now, we'll take you to the career development through which we can create the career goals. As we have already discussed that the career goals are more aligned towards the skills and competencies of an individual. So here you can see again, it's somewhat similar to what we have seen in the performance document, performance goal, like we can create the goal library is there. There is a setup, eligibility profile, and we can schedule the process. But here we do not see the goal plan. This is because with the help of the setup goals of development goal mass assignment, we can create a development goal plan and can publish it later. So everything is same, but we can segregate the goals based on this navigation. We can create different goals. So what generally happens once we have created goal? What will happen? How it is going to be tracked? From the ESS side, employee can see their goals, can make the progresses. It can be in the percentage or it can be in like in progress completed in words character. And they can also add any of the notes that can be seen by their manager. And also the manager from my team, they can view their direct reports and can also make the changes in their goals or in their progress, and they can also add the notes. what exactly is performance now? Performance is a evaluation of an individual in the organization. It also helps us to get the feedback or check-ins. So we'll see what exactly is all this. We'll go one by one through the terminology. We have already seen the review period. It should be consistent. This is very important to have the consistency in order to flow, like the data should flow from the goals and to the management. The review period should be same. Whether we are creating the review period for mid-year or annual year, that will definitely depends on the client's requirement, but that has to have a consistency. The questionnaires are actually these are, we can say it is kind of form that have multiple question in it. And those questionnaires are used to capture information, feedbacks, or rating based on what the questionnaire is for. We can create different type of question. It can be of text form, single choice, multiple choice, or let's say for an example, if the manager we want the feedback for the employees, we will create a different set of questionnaire for them. Likewise for the worker and for the participants. Having said that, what is participant? You might get confused. So this will take us to the next terminology, that is performance role. In the performance role, there will be defining the different role who are going to be participant or who are going to do the evaluation in the performance document. In many of the organization, I have seen they wanted the metrics manager to evaluate the performance document, or anyone, if we want anyone to evaluate from the organization, we can add them here in the performance goal. So manager and worker are mandatory, and apart from this, we can add anyone into the performance role to have the evaluation or feedback from them. Now, performance document type. It is very, very important because this is also one of the key things which help the goals and performance to have the linkage between. So when we create the goal plan, there we have the option to attach the document type. And there we will be defining the document type. So that will work as a bridge between both the modules. While creating the document type, just we have to fill all this detail of the name, description, and just the date. It will work like the review period, what we have given, that will be given. And that's it. We do not have to do anything, anything complex. It's just the information that we have to provide and it will work. Now, next is the template section. So template section defines the section that is going to be evaluated. Say for an example, the goal section will be there, overall summary will be there, questionnaires, or if we want the competencies. So all this section will come under the template section. Not only this, but it also allows to have the weightage and what kind of rating it is going to evaluate. So let's take for an example, if I want to evaluate any one of you, on what basis I'm going to evaluate? There should be some rating model, right? It can be from 1 to 5 number, it can be star rating, it can be in character. So that we have to define in the rating module, we have to give a description and level for that. And that will be integrating in the template section as well. So for creating the template section, let me take you here. Yes. So we have different sections available. Here we can see competencies, performance goal, development goal, overall section. If we want worker final feedback, manager feedback, or questionnaires, we have already seen the questionnaires. Now, competencies is something that will flow from the profile management to here. Many times it happens that I will be having different competencies in the skill, and let's say Natasha will have different sets. So how can a manager can evaluate everyone on the basis of few sets? No. Here it gives us the feasibility to fetch the data of competencies and skill from the profile management. And like for me, it will show only the skills that I have and my manager will evaluate on that basis. We have a rating module. We can also define what will be the calculation, how the calculation is going to work, whether it is going to be average or those kind of settings we can configure here. These are the different settings available, and we can add the content if we want it directly from the profile management, or on the basis of if we want to define only on the languages, if we want the evaluation to happen, then I can add particular language as well. So we have the visibility to add any of those things. Now moving to the process flow. Process flow, actually it is a sequence of flow that have different tasks. Like if the manager is going to evaluate first, or we want the employee only to have the evaluation, we want them concurrently to evaluate, if we want the participant feedback, or is there any approval? If yes, one or two, how many approval should be there? About the reviews and the meeting. Every settings can be done with the help of this process flow. It is very easy, but at the same time, it is important to have the correct process flow in the sequence order, because if there is any mismatch, that will lead to the inconsistency and error in the templates that will be seen. So many times it happens that it throws an error, and we don't able to understand or recognize what is the exact issue. So most of the time it happens because of the process flow, it throws an error. Now performance template is where we will be encapsulating the rest of the things that we have seen. In performance flow, performance template, we can define who all are the participant who is going to evaluate, what will be the rating model, what is, see, in general process structure content. These are the different things that we have to configure. There is template type. There are two type of templates, standard or anytime. So standard is the one which is going to have a review period, and anytime template is that which can be applicable to anyone. Let's say for an example, tomorrow a new intern joins, so that anytime template will help the new joinee to have the performance document in place. We'll be defining the start date, end date. Always make sure the status is active. Document type that we have created, that will be having the linkage to the goals that we have to define, eligibility profile, and the contributor participants and the participant role. So I remember in one of my project, the requirement was such that the client wanted the evaluation to happen only from the manager side and not from the worker side, but worker should be able to see what rating they have received from their manager. So those kind of the settings can be done with the help of this structure, where we can define who all can see the ratings, who cannot, whether the participant can evaluate, or what settings they want. So those features can be configured here. Now, there is a check-in template. So what is check-in template, right? Check-in templates are basically, these are informal kind of templates, or we can say informal kinds of discussion that happens between the manager and the worker. So an employer literally don't have to wait for complete whole year to get the reviews. They can have this kind of meeting, have the feedback on, or the tracking on the works they are doing or the goals they are performing. So check-ins can be created anytime with manager, and can have the feedbacks that helps the worker and the organization to grow in the same direction. Once the performance template is created, we have to run the batch process, and then we can mass assign the, we can do the process of mass assignment of the performance document. So it will help the people who are eligible can see the performance document from their ESS side. If we want to check only for a particular employee to see whether the performance document are working or not, with the help of this first option, performance document, also we can align, or we can attach the performance document to any of individual and see whether the things are reflecting properly or working or not. So this is the way we will be configuring the performance. Performance document has been created. Then the process flow wise, the sequence will happen, who is going to evaluate first. The ratings will be captured and recorded. What next? So there is an integration of the performance and goals with many other modules. Let's say for an example with the compensation, there the performance ratings come into the picture with the help of the merits and bonuses and in fluctuates. In the career development, if there is any of the gap in the skills, then it will flow to the career development. Or if anyone has completed any course, it will the career development or the career goal will flow to the LMS, that is learning management system. So yes, performance flows to many other modules such as succession planning. When an organization see for the readiness of the successor, they will see who all are ready for that, have the same type of competencies. So these all things will flow to the different module. Also to the talent review. Talent review is an important thing, because here the organization see who all are the top performer in the organization, and who are below the average, who needs to get the PIP or coaching or mentoring. So those kind of things are taken care in the performance review, and that performance review gets the performance rating from performance document. So there we have a grid or a graph based on the potential and performance, and with the help of that, the organization review the performance document. Now let me again take you to these slides. I hope this is visible now. We have seen the performance. I have taken you to the system, have shown you the configuration, performance configuration, goal configuration. Now to the important part of this session, case study. The case study is for one of the renowned organization that was in the Middle East, deals with the education and petrochemical industry. And we implemented and rolled out the project in 2025 only. And we also did the Redwood upgrade for the talent management, LMS, core HR. The workforce compensation, it was a mixed workforce that has included the permanent employees, and about 40% of the workforce were blue collar. That means they were into the construction mostly. Now we'll see the challenges. So about the challenges, the organization were having, they were dealing with the challenge such as there was the complex in the eligibility. There were 40% of the employee who were blue collar. So the data, or they do not have the access to the Oracle HCM Fusion. Next was the phase implementation. They wanted the phase implementation to happen. They wanted to adopt Oracle performance management and have the things streamlined. Also, they wanted the goal alignment and reporting. So we as a cloud stand stepped in and implemented this in the phased approach. So the first phase was the rollout of the 60% of the workforce. We implemented the goals and performance suite, and that helped them to have a aligned goal and everything in the place. Next, we helped them with the goal management coverage. We also use the hybrid approach. So hybrid approach, as we know that there were 40% of the workforce that they did not have the access to the fusion. So we implemented or integrated it with the third party of their legacy system to have the goals in the performance, that feed it in the performance document, and that helped the 40% of the workforce to have the evaluation, performance evaluation. Also, we implemented the custom report. So the organization wanted us to have the IDP, that is individual development plan report, so that it can be generated for individual to see what all goals and the performance that they have in place. So finally, the results and benefit. There was a comprehensive coverage, enhanced confidence. It helped them to streamline the processes and accurate reporting. And all because of all these things, the organization was able to structure it in there was 60% of the improvement, and it was streamlined in a way. Now, taking you to towards the end of the session, some of the key points, key takeaways, and recommendation. So as we discussed, the SMART goals should lead to the measurable result. It should be, the goal should be specific, time bound, so that it can help the goal to succeed. Performance management should always be aligned to the organizational goal in order to have the success like what the organization is trying to achieve in this coming year. Review period should be same in goals and performances in order to have the data flow from goals to performance. We have also seen the hybrid approach that we used in the case study, like for 40% of the workforce, we used the third-party integration, and that was a successful rollout. We also need to maintain a standard goal library. If the organization is using the library, it's using the reusable library, then definitely it reduces our times, efforts, and if there is any manual error, that also get reduced. And finally, the process flow should be accurate so that we don't see the consequences of having the mismatch or errors. Yes, moving towards the Q&A session.
Before we wrap up today's session, we'll open the floor for a quick Q&A. Megha, so we have a few questions from the audience. The first question is, can performance document be linked to other modules?
Yes, definitely. As I mentioned in the call, the performance document can be linked to the other modules such as compensation, in which we will be using the performance rating, to the career development, or to the succession planning. So these are the modules from which we can integrate the performance document to.
Thank you so much. I hope it clears your doubts. The second question we have is, what is the difference between performance management and talent review?
So performance management is what that deals with, having the evaluation of an individual based on their predefined goals, or it can be on the competencies. But when we are talking about the talent review, it is more towards the accessing of the overall performance. Like I mentioned in the session, there is a grid, there is a graph based on the potential or performance, and also the readiness of the successor, or who is the topmost performance in the organization. So all those access we have in the talent review.
Thank you so much, Megha. Another question is, how can you delete a goal plan?
We can delete a goal plan by going through my client group, and from there we can delete, but make sure that the goal plan is not assigned to any of the worker, because if it is assigned, it won't allow you to delete. So what we can do, we can change the status from active to inactive. That will have the goal plan will get disappear from the application.
Great. So if you have any more questions, whether it's about goal settings, performance, or Oracle configurations, you can connect us over at LinkedIn or drop a message at info@cloudstandconsulting.com. Because we have run out of time today. So thank you so much, Megha, for this insightful walkthrough, and thank you all of you who have joined today's session. At CloudStand, we don't just implement systems. We believe in building knowledge, sharing what works, sharing what we have learned, supporting a larger Oracle ecosystem that grows together. Goal and performance management is evolving rapidly, and what you configure today will shape the engagement and growth of our workforce tomorrow. Let's continue to collaborate, share, and improve together. Feel free to connect with us over at LinkedIn, or you can visit us at www.cloudstandconsulting.com. Until next time, stay curious, stay impactful. Thank you so much, everyone.